Well, hello and welcome back to our special episode of Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co host, Tracey.
Hey, y'all.
So, today we're back. We're continuing the discussion on perimenopause and menopause, and we're going to bring in some guests. But just a quick recap on what we talked about last week and what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so what's funny is that I literally forgot what we talked about just last week, and I forgot what we were supposed to be talking about this week, but that's okay, y'all, because I wrote it down. That's one of
You
my
know what
coping
that is?
mechanisms. It's called
Brain fog.
menopause brain fog. Yes. So last week, thank you for reminding me, Shahida, we talked about night sweats. We talked about hot flashes, which are kind of like kissing cousins. We talked about when we first got our periods, and which is kind of the start of this whole journey that leads to perimenopause and menopause. And then this week, today, to be specific, we're going to be talking about some other symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. Some real ones that hit below the belt, literally. We're talking about weight gain, hair loss where you don't want to lose it, hair growth where you don't want to grow it, and vaginal dryness, which leads to the topic of the vagina. What's going on with your vagina during this time? So let's bring our guests
We
in.
have some good guests. We're going to bring in some. Robbie is not with us this week, but she will join us next week. So we're going to bring back in Norma. And hello.
Hello.
Hey, hi
Hi.
Norma.
Hi.
I'm bringing back everybody at the
T
same.
Money
Hey,
Hello,
girl.
and
ladies.
Heidi.
Hello.
Hi.
So we have two new faces with us today. We have Tanya, who is my other co-host because I have two podcasts on Still Dope with myself and Chris. How are you, Tanya?
I'm good, thanks. How you doing? Hey, ladies.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
And we have a fresh new face who's we just met today, Heidi, and I already know she's spicy because she already said a couple of things. I was a spicy girl.
Hello, friends.
Hey.
Hello.
So Heidi is joining us, but she's on the other end. I'm just beginning the perimenopause, the menopause, because she is how old? We don't want to say if you don't want to say.
I'm happy to say it's a privilege to be turning 45 in a few weeks.
And you look fabulous,
Thank you
sis.
so
You look
much.
fabulous.
Thank you.
So, like Tracy said last week, we talked about hot flashes, night sweats, when this journey all started, when we all got our period. So this week we are discussing what again, Tracy?
See, that was a trick because okay, no, I do remember. I do remember because I literally wrote it down and said it 2 seconds ago. So we are going to be addressing weight loss. We're going to be addressing hair, whether it's losing it or growing it in places where you don't want to, and we're also going to be talking about the effects on your female reproductive system. What happens to your vagina? Is it getting dry because of this thing? So that's what we're going to be talking about.
Tracy,
Yes,
who's
ma'am.
losing weight? Because I want to talk to that lady.
Um,
Oh, shut up, Tanya.
I'm just saying.
I know where it went.
I feel my dukes coming up now. Okay, let's get to it then, Tanya. You are a unicorn in this thing because you losing weight.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm the road to menopause was different for me. It wasn't like, nature just took its course. I turned a certain age. I went through full blown menopause early, due to the surgery that I had. I had something happen, incident that happened, and I'm not real cool about talking about. But I went through full blown menopause probably at the age, I believe I was like 32 or 33.
mm,
So it wasn't like a general progression. It would just happen, So I went through within a month's time span. I went through, the hot flashes, the psycho, your hormones out of whack, and thinking you're going crazy, the depression, everything that came with that. But as I got older, I don't know if it has anything to do. I don't have hot flashes per se. I think it's just I haven't had a period in over 25 years. I was 16 when I got my first period. So I was a late bloomer on that part. Yeah. And
Really? Because Tracy, you were pretty old too, weren't you? No, you
No,
were
I was on the
9.
younger side. Yeah. So we kind of touched
I
on
was
that last week.
15.
You were
Really?
yeah.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh,
Yep.
I
So
was
yeah, so
11.
so back to the weight loss. I
Hmm.
recently lost 29 pounds, and I am
Ooh.
not because I worked out. It was just a lifestyle change I just made. I just made
Okay.
some small tweaks in my life. I don't, I'm a firm believer that some of these food people are trying to kill us with what's in the food that we're buying. So if I can make it, I'm going to make it. So I just started like gradually, slowly started making my own stuff. Like I make my own butter, I make my own bread, I make my own. I have a juicer. So I juice. I make my own almond milk. Um, and I try to cook everything, as healthy as I can as far as like my food. It's very rare that I go out to eat unless I go to brunch or something like that. That's probably the most I'll do, or if I'm on vacation. So I don't work out. I do the bare minimum as far as working out. I do literally the bare minimum to keep my joints healthy and my knees in shape. So that way I'm not going to be I'm vain. I don't want to walk with a cane. I don't want to be on the walker. I ain't doing none of that. So I do the bare minimum to maintain. And then the reason how I found out I lost 29 pounds was for my birthday in April. I treated myself to a suite at the Encore in Boston just for my birthday, and they was in the bathroom. It was magnificent. They had a digital scale, and I was like, oh, let me just step on this. And the last time I got weighed at my doctor's office in October, it was like 180, and it was like 150. It said 151 dot something, and I was like, no, this isn't calibrated right. And Lord knows, I stepped on that scale like every 15, 20 minutes.
Out of it.
And it still says so. Yeah, I lost weight like that. So I'm just going to continue the trend.
Well, typically, well, a lot of people do, gain weight as they go
Yeah.
through perimenopause. That's where I'm at right now. But I want to, since Heidi is new to the conversation and new to the group, I just want to ask you, and then you're also the youngest.
Mm,
What stage are you in right now? Like, what kind of symptoms are you having? Because basically, you would be in perimenopause.
right, correct.
Hmm.
So I will tell you that I do go to a hormone specialist that, yep, that I've been with for 6 years because I was experiencing some thyroid disease symptoms as well. But night sweats, mm,
Mm.
night sweats, and somebody want to tell me why I got gray hairs down there and black hairs here now? What? Why?
I
This is
have a comment
cruel.
about that when you're done,
Oh
girl.
yeah, me too. Go ahead, finish up.
This is cruel. Black hairs here and gray down. What? So, and some vaginal dryness. Yeah.
Vaginal dryness was new. I didn't know that was a thing until till very recently. But when you talk about the gray hair, go ahead, Tracy. You want to say something about the gray hair?
Yeah, I just like, so here's my thing about gray wherever it grows, be it on my head, be it down below. I'm not bothered by it. It's not like, oh, I gotta get rid of it or I'm trying to blah blah blah. I just gave it a name. This is now Giancarlo Esposito down here. Cause it looks good, salt and pepper, honey. That's all I have to say about that.
You know what? That's why I like you. You're always positive, see the good side on everything. First time I saw a gray hair, I didn't know what it was. I stepped out
Mm.
the
I
shower.
hope you didn't pull it.
It's been a cat. I thought it was like cat hair. I was like,
Oh.
yeah, I pulled
Me
it.
too.
And that was
Oh, it's a change.
I'll be honest. I was like, am I going back blonde?
Oh, okay, girl.
That's
He
funny.
really wanted
That's
to
so
believe.
funny.
Yes.
That's so funny. And the thing is, like, a lot of women who wax just take everything off. So I guess if you're like a waxer and you do like, I mean, I'm not opposed to a Brazilian or whatever, but I always like to leave a little on. But I don't go like, oh, take off the. I'm just like, listen, this is the shape I want. If there's some gray left, then there's some gray left. I'm at the point now where look,
Well,
I
mine
don't even care.
is white, and it's a
Yeah,
different
mine is white.
texture, a different texture too. Like it wants
Mm-hmm.
The pubic hair, or are you talking about on your head?
the chin, the head. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, can we talk about the friggin'
It's a
chin? The
it's
chin. What is
wiry.
Right.
So
It's the
They are
plain.
very
to
wiry.
me.
Yeah.
what?
So I have a system. I have a favorite pair of tweezers, which
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna make a Pinterest board because I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just share all the stuff that helps me get through this." I'm gonna post a Pinterest board. But there's a specific pair of tweezers by Tweezerman. They are fire. And so what I do when I feel like my neck is starting to get a little itchy, I'm like, "Oh, not that." I spray a little bit of either I take a shower, I spray like a little toner or something, and that like loosens up the
Opens the
follicle, I
pores.
guess. And I grab those
Mm.
tweezermans, and that sucker comes right out. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's black. It's all different colors, but
Aubrey.
you gotta go. You gotta go.
Use it
So
all for you.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mm.
whoa, because I have to look at each one.
oh yeah. I'm
It's
like,
not a big problem for me. It's not like thick or anything, but like you said, Norma, it's very prickly. It's like
Yeah,
so it comes in and it's white, and sometimes I'll be in the car on my way to work, and I'm like, God damn it!
so
Why
that's the
didn't I
best place
check
to
this
look.
before?
The visor in your car is like the most bomb mirror ever
It is. It
for
is.
finding chin and neck hairs.
And they come right back. Like they
And
don't
long,
give you
and
no break.
long. How'd you
Like
get
you,
so
as soon as
long,
you pluck
sis?
them, you can. I could. Well, I'm gonna say for me, I can pluck my chin first thing this morning, and when I wake up tomorrow, it's just like, hello, I'm still here. I grew back.
you must.
Stop.
Ooh,
It's
Mine are not
ridiculous.
that disrespectful. Mine take a
mine.
little
Yeah,
bit.
mine's are disrespectful. They literally come back really, really quickly.
My if I pluck them, it's like a day or two, at least 2 days, at
Mhm.
least 2 days. But when it comes back, it's like those little. It's tiny, tiny, but it's strong
Yeah,
as hell.
yeah.
Yes.
Why
Especially
Yes.
the gray ones.
does hair
Whoa.
grow like that?
Right. And don't
It's
try to dye it. Whew. I'm like, you. It's like,
dye, dye your chin hair.
no, head hair.
I thought she was talking about something else. So
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I dye my hair too, Norma, because I'm just again I'm vain and I have grays and I'm not going gray gracefully. It looks wonderful on some women. I'm
Some
not
women
ready
can
for that
kill
yet.
it.
I'm just not ready for that yet. Some women are absolutely slaying the gray
Yeah.
hair. I have a friend of mine
Mhm.
that I used
It's
to work with.
beautiful, but when it's
yeah, the skunk stripe.
miscellaneous
Yeah, I just don't want to admit it. Yeah, I'm just not ready. I
and it
will
won't be
eventually. So
down,
I'm
the
dyeing my
edge control don't work. I'm like,
yeah,
It's a different texture. It's
yeah.
definitely a different
what is
texture for
this?
me. Yeah. So
Tanya, don't worry. My mama is 75, and you are just not catching her without some henna in her head.
Mm,
She's just not doing it.
mm-hmm.
And I'm not doing it
Yeah.
either. I tried. I think it was a couple, like about maybe 6 or 7 months ago for like 2 months. No, about 3 months. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Remember, Tracy? I was like, I'm gonna try and accept it, and it wasn't the worst, but I
Mm.
just did not feel great in it.
No.
I just
I
No.
felt like it
just
did age me.
I just started doing the salt and pepper braids and I loved it because I'm like, I don't got to do nothing. These salt and pepper
Yeah.
braids blend the whole thing in. And now I have black. And I still haven't, like, since I just dye it if I feel like changing the color, but I don't purposely dye it to cover up.
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
It's
I
a lot
do.
of work, a lot of pressure.
Maybe if you
Mm-hmm.
kind of caught the other hair up to the white hair.
I don't know. It's not gonna help me.
I don't know.
I'm not doing because I remember when you did do the salt and pepper braids, and I was just like, you know what, you could do. I'm not doing that.
Mm-mm.
But it looks good when other people do it because we all know you're not a head full of gray hair. So it's like more costumey than anything. But no, I'm not doing it. I don't want no
There's a
gray hair,
woman,
man.
actually, there's a woman on Instagram. Um, she's an older woman. I think she's in her 60s, and she's a model. Like she became a model. Tracy, you probably know who I'm talking about.
I think I know who you mean. Does she wear glasses too?
Mia
Like a
Mouage,
lot
I
of
think
different,
they
like,
call her. Yeah, and she has like she keeps her hair natural, and she's absolutely stunning. Like she was just like working in a regular corporate job, and then I believe she's British, and then
Oh.
let her hair go. She let her hair go gray, and she got plucked by a modeling agency, and now she's like killing the game in fashion just because of her gray hair, and she
mm.
looks stunning. I'm just not ready to let it go yet.
Mm-mm.
There
Well,
was like a lady in my church. I remember when I was a kid, and she would do the whatever made your hair turn purple. Like the
you
A
whatever
rinse.
that was.
It was a
The
rinse.
know.
silver, that purple shampoo.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
And
a
now when
rinse.
I tell you stunning, and I mean
Yep.
skin like a fresh pecan, like I never felt like, oh my God, I don't want to go gray, because I had so many great examples of
Mm,
women
Yeah.
who just made it look amazing. So it's not something that I, purposely, but I mean, I understand that some people are just not ready for, and I think everyone's different, and
mhm.
just like our menopause journeys are all so different. So Tanya, you spoke to, going into menopause in your 30s. I did too. And it wasn't on purpose either. I think my IUD actually triggered my
Oh,
early perimenopause journey. And now even though I'm just turning 50, I've been in full menopause for several years now. And so it's not just an age thing. It could be chemically induced, it could be medically induced, it could be
And
surgically induced. Women experience menopause at different stages of the game. So the thing is, like, where are you in your life? Are you mentally ready for it? At 32, that's a lot. That's
Mm.
a heavy load if it's not something that you were expecting, which who expects that, especially when you got your period later in life. I got my period when I was 9, so it's like we're all so different.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, Tanya and Heidi, we didn't get a chance to. I mean, Tanya, you kind of put some points on it, what your journey was, and Heidi, a little bit. But what can you say was the marking symptom that you had, and when you just realized, and did you have that discussion with your doctor? Because a lot of us are having that discussion with our doctors, and we had someone on last week, Robbie, who was just like, she was amazed that we're all being so communicative with our physicians. And one of the things that we learned last week, also, Heidi, is that Black women actually go through perimenopause and menopause earlier than white
Mm.
women, and it's much more severe than any other group. And part of that, which was just amazing to us, part of that is because of stress and racism, which you would not even think of as something that would make, we're all going through the same thing, but because of that, those kind of factors in the world, we're actually suffering more. So if you could just kind of, both of you, Tanya and Heidi, just kind of just clip on some of the things when you knew that you were actually in perimenopause and menopause, some of the symptoms.
Sure. So I think for me it was, well, I started with the gray hair on the head, and I'll let you know, I tried to go salt and pepper. I couldn't handle it. So she's blending them in and it's working. So we're going with that for now. But, subject to change, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
The night sweats, just, I mean, the only other time I had experienced that was directly after having 2 C-sections. I would
Mm-hmm.
get really bad night sweats after my
Mm.
C-sections. But this was just, it's like every, leading up to my period, usually. And then there's some period inconsistency as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Still getting a period, or
yes.
is it still, oh, okay?
Yep, I am.
So you're
Mm-hmm.
probably going through the phase where you have your period. You'll probably get it for like maybe a day, day and a half, and then it goes away, and then you'll probably like get it again. Or are you going through a phase now where you're skipping months?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because
So
I was telling them last week, I'm actually in menopause because I've gone the whole 12 months. So my
yeah.
last period
Right.
was February 2024.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's
You
no
have to go a full
menstruation for
12
12
months.
months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And and
That's
and
when we. No, go
go ahead.
ahead, Tanya.
No. I
Now
was
I would
saying,
say we got into change of life babies as well because Heidi, you the one says you need to be careful. You
Yeah,
got
you
two boys. If you
here.
trying for the girl, I'm just saying, you just be
yeah.
careful out there in these streets, girl.
Oh no, I did have my so I had my tubes removed with my last
Ah,
C-section, which I felt may have been a contributing factor.
I
Hmm.
did
mm,
the
I
same.
also had an IUD when I was younger.
that's the
Hmm.
one.
Hmm. Yeah, so that could definitely. I mean, we don't know. We're not professionals. We will get one,
Yeah,
but not for this.
I
So,
still have my, OBGYN. Well, obviously not my original from because I was living out of state, but the one since I've moved back here, I've had the same OBGYN, and I don't do hormone replacement therapy. When I went through it in my 30s, they didn't recommend it. They thought that it would be because I was young. They were like, it's not going to work. So, or it might affect me differently, whatever. So I just took their recommendation. I didn't get on hormone replacement therapy. And now I see a lot of like videos of women talking about it and how it makes them feel better, and they're doing the patch or whatever. And I just I haven't had any. I
yeah,
haven't
you're
had
fortunate,
issues.
girl,
No, really, there's no. Yeah, for
because
me,
we're not
it's
going
just
through this.
I'm not. Yeah, I have an appointment with my. I have my. I don't have to go to the gynecologist now because of the age that I'm at. I don't have to go every year like most folks. I only go like every 2 to 3 years. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, be same with me.
so
Every
I
two.
have, yeah, my next appointment is in August. So, I'm debating. I mean, I don't know why I'm going to bring it up to her, but I'm just going to bring it up to her and just be like, everybody's taking hormone replacement therapy. But I don't think I'm going to do it because I don't feel any sort of way. Like I'm not. I'm normally I've normally when I go to bed, so I can't really say it's hot flashes. I've always been that way when I've gone to bed, even as a teenager. I'd go to bed and I'd pack the covers on me, and I still do it till this day. And then I'm like, I start getting hot, and then I'm like, okay, I just start peeling covers off.
No,
But when
if
that
it's night sweat, you would
when you
know.
say night sweats,
There's a difference.
I've never experienced night sweats
I
because I
wake
know
up
that some women literally
drenched.
are drenched. No, I just get hot. I kick the cover off, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good. And
Yeah,
then
no, that's not really. It's because
So
even
I've
like
never,
with hot flashes, people think that, oh, I mean, that is something that you have to experience. And if you've
Mm-hmm.
ever experienced, it's almost like your body is burning from the inside out.
Hmm.
Like
I've heard that.
it's not just hot. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm hot. So
Have you all seen that video that was going around on social media of the woman outside at a like a football
Her
game and
head
you can
was
see the
shaved, right?
steam?
Yes.
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 My daughter was talking to me about that the other day because last week we were talking about how we were going to try to get, well, how, because we didn't grow up having these conversations historically with our mothers and grandmothers. I was like, I'm
Mm.
going to be more vocal about my experience. So if I'm having a hot flash, I'm now announcing it to anyone who's within earshot. And so
The
it,
sons.
it it's building dialogue. Yes, sons, daughters,
Hmm.
whoever. And so my daughter was like, "You have hot flashes?" Like I couldn't tell, is what she was saying. So she brought up that video to me, exactly. And I was just, telling her, yeah, like I'm going through that right now. And it's not even like I'm trying to have a whole lecture or anything like that. I'm just being more vocal about it so that she knows that eventually when she gets to that point, or beforehand, she can come to me and it's
Yeah.
a dialogue that we can have,
yeah,
together.
my
That's
daughter's
right.
saying. So okay, let's get to this dryness. We'll go to the simple one. Anybody experience like skin dryness?
Again, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
that's another
Right.
level as well.
And
Like feel like my legs, no matter how much I was putting on it, like with the shea butter, the cocoa butter, the oils, the mixtures, buying the most expensive ones to the cheap ones, it was still looking like snake skin.
Mm.
Agreed.
And it wasn't just the winter months. It was like the summer. Now it's corrected itself now. So I feel like, maybe I'm at a balance, but that was another level that I was not expecting.
I tried, I think it's by Dove. They have a lotion you put on while you're in the shower.
I
It's
tried
like
the
a
oil in the shower.
you feel yourself trying not to slip, but it did help a little bit. But
Hmm.
I get the dryness and then I'll get like a patch by my eye. It is almost like eczema.
Eczema.
I was just gonna say that sounds so eczema.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
Mm.
almost like, but it's just like a little, and then I'll just dab Vaseline or some a little bit of oil, just but then it'll go away and then it'll come. Because I was like, what is this? And my trying to get an appointment with a dermatologist is so difficult.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not
Mm.
no.
Charged up so much for
Yes,
that half-hour visit.
yes.
Yeah.
So I do have an appointment, and
So you're still going through it? You still haven't?
yeah, well, not just different types of skin issues, and I don't want to cancel my appointment because I feel like by the time it comes, something else will come up. So
Yeah,
I
that's
have
true.
a little list of things and to jot down and highlight when I go.
Hmm.
Um, but I
I
don't
think
really not much that they can really do. I don't want to go on a steroid ointment because it thins
Don't
out your
do
skin,
it.
especially when it's in your
Mm.
eyes. Um, so
But you just said something very important, Norma. Jotting things down
mhm.
prior to going to an appointment, be it a dermatologist, a gynecologist, your primary. I think you get into that, little Johnny that they give you, and you forget all the shit
Everything.
that's been going on in your life. And
Last
you
part.
forget, and the doctor's going through their list. They have a checklist, but they're not going to sit there and say, well, what else do you want to talk about necessarily? So you kind of have to go prepared with your list.
Yeah.
And I've
Absolutely.
yeah. And
Mhm.
Tanya, you work in healthcare, so and I think even more so, I'm that chick that I will message my doctor even in between appointments and be like, listen, this
Mhm.
is happening to me. Or, I'm very communicative with my primary care doctor, and he's
Yep.
extremely attentive, but everybody's primary is not. I actually went to him because the primary I had for him was only going through the motions, and I don't have time for that. Not at $30 per copay. You're going to address my issues.
Mhm.
So, and for a specialty, $60. No, we're going to get to the root of things.
Well,
So,
that's the age old thing. You have to be. You are your
Advocate.
advocate. If
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mhm.
not,
But
if you're not speaking up, they're just going to go through the motions and do what they need to
mhm.
do, send you on your way. Um,
mhm,
Now, if you are your advocate and they're a reputable, responsible physician or nurse practitioner, my OBGYN, it's just not a doctor. I've been going through to a nurse practitioner because I trust that woman with my whole life. She's way better than
mm,
any doctor I've ever dealt with. Both my internal med, I mean, they have to practice underneath a physician
Right.
in the practice, but both of them, my family medicine doctor that I go to and my gynecologist, is both female nurse practitioners. Because when I tell you, they are worse than a medical student in a teaching hospital. They want to find out if you bring in any type of issue, they will make it their life's mission to find out what's wrong with you
Mhm.
mm.
and fix it. Because
There's some fabulous NPs out there, honestly.
absolutely,
Yeah, they are.
I've
but with the
never
dry
had
skin,
one.
yeah, with the dry skin for me, I usually go through it during the winter time. Like
Mhm.
once the season changes, like when fall comes, I start getting really like scaly. My hands start like the skin on my hands start peeling like I've like stuck it in like literally did a paraffin dip and you're peeling
Mm.
the wax off. My skin on my hands do it. My legs get really ashy and my face is just dry as all get out. I have to like lather on Aquaphor on my face. Um, but summertime, obviously, I think it's because it's warm. I don't usually have those
The
problems.
humidity, maybe.
The
Yeah,
humidity helps, definitely
Yeah,
helps.
it really does. But one of the things about like the dryness for me, because it does affect my hair too, my scalp, my skin, but I get really dry in between like my breast.
Hmm.
Mm.
So like and I don't have big boobs, so but and so my doctor gave me this particular shampoo that's for like eczema or something. So I have to
Mm.
use that, and that because my back would be on fire from the dryness. Like literally, I would put the oil on it, but because it was like snake skin, it was like snake skin. It was so bad.
Wow.
So
This
it
is
it
what I've read, like a shedding happens, or that's what I've been reading, a shedding
Really?
of sorts.
It
Yes.
it didn't shed. It was just well, you
Okay.
know what? It could have. It could have been shedding, and I didn't notice it, especially from the back. You know what I'm saying? And it could be like in my clothes and not really noticing it if it wasn't big. So that's a good point because
Yeah.
I didn't, but it was so dry. But
Mm.
especially like in between the breast and the breastbone and in the back, I just never expect, and it was painful,
Mm.
Mm. Oof.
painful. My skin was painful, and I'm like, and
Like a
my
raw feeling almost,
well,
or
not like raw. Yeah, yeah. Because if anything, like a scented soap, anything with that had any kind of perfume in it, hit it, it would burn.
The sting.
mm.
Would burn, except for the shampoo that my doctor prescribed for me. And it would help clear it up, or I forget exactly what she called it, but it was like, oh, you're gonna go through those phases. And then also too, one of the things, I had a lot of skin discoloration. Like my knuckles on one hand are way darker than the knuckles on the other hand.
So and this might actually tingle a little, but I don't know if you all use Dr. Bronner's. Have you ever used Dr. Bronner's soaps?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I like literally swear by that. The only thing I will shower with is Dr. Bronner's or Teal's. That's it.
Yes, I use
And
teal.
yeah, I never have had a problem with like any of those things, but everyone's different. But Dr. Bronner's is good for skin. The peppermint one is great for skin discoloration. So you might maybe use the milder Castile
Mm.
one, maybe even the one that's meant for babies. But
Mhm.
literally, because under my breast is where I would get darkness, and that was from years ago. That was even before menopause or anything like that. And I noticed it helps to clear dark spots on the skin.
Yeah,
The
Mm.
peppermint. Right.
minutes one before, and then again it burned my back because
Oh yeah.
it couldn't
That
be.
one might be a little too harsh.
No, no, I can use it, no problem. Like I use native. That I like it because I like vanilla smelling things.
Mm.
But no problem. But during the winter and last summer, it was not nice. It was
Mm.
rough. Even when we were in London, I was having that dry issue.
And it was so damp, girl. It was humid and damp the entire time. So yeah, it's
That's long
probably
enough. I had
hormones.
already been suffering here, and that was just a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's probably a combination, Shahida, because if you're eating red meat too, there's just
Mm.
certain types.
Like
Okay.
you mean like I don't eat a lot of red meat. I like chicken more than any chicken and fish
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm.
really what I eat the most. I do crave sometimes like a
Don't
good
crave
steak.
it. I think that's the iron. Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes
Mm.
I'll crave a burger or whatever, but that's like a couple of times a year, not even that much,
No, okay.
you know?
But Tanya hit on something with nutrition, and I think it may be that you have to kind of play around with
Yeah,
different
pay
changes to your
attention.
diet
Yeah.
because I found that certain foods, like yogurt, is a known food that people eat when they want to diet. Yogurt will literally put weight on me like in a flash. So I don't use yogurt when I'm trying to lose weight because dairy just automatically puts
Dairy.
weight on me. Cheese, yogurt, anything like that. And then I found that even when I thought I was snacking light, eating popcorn and things like that, it's not even just like, oh, you're eating a light snack. How much snack are you eating? When are you eating it? Because I used to eat a
Mm.
lot at night. I stopped eating after I don't want to say I stopped eating after 8 p.m., but I stopped eating heavy meals
Oh
after
yeah.
8 and I stopped like crushing a bag of chips after, dinner time and things like that. And those kinds of changes help me recalibrate my weight and
Yeah,
bring it down a little bit. But
yeah,
yeah, it's a nutrition thing. And
It
yeah,
and a lot of times it's takeout, it's dining out, you don't know what's being put in the
Mhm.
food,
what's
controlling your own food. Yeah.
And I don't
Tanya
care.
was saying
Listen,
too.
I don't care how healthy the restaurant says they are
They
and
lying.
how well they're cooking the food for you or preparing the food for you. Please believe me, they ain't nothing in. Listen, there's gonna be some heavy fats and
Butter
saturated
and cream and
butter
salt.
and all that
Yeah, I was just
salt
gonna
and all that
say.
shit. No, I'm telling you, it's all about what you intake because
Right.
I don't carry soda. I stopped drinking soda years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my family we have a history of diabetes and all that, and I just made a vow to myself, I'm not carrying on the tradition and taking or hypertension medication and none of that shit. I'm not doing that. That shit stops with me. Um, so I don't miss I will say this, every once in a while depending on if I'm out, I'll may like say, let me get like a Coke or a Sprite or a ginger ale, and I'll sip it, and then I'm just like, oh my God, that's just like poison. Because I'm not used
Like,
to it
oh my
anymore.
God, that's delicious.
Too sweet.
Right?
It's too sweet now.
I get
But
enough.
It's
I get enough sugar in
delicious.
my glass, so
Little glass of
I ain't getting
vino.
rid of my wine now. I'm not getting rid of my wine and my champagne. I will die at the cross on that one. I've given up the liquor. I've given that up, but I'm not losing
Same.
the wine and my champagne. But I'm telling you, I literally go to Costco. I get creative. I go online and I look at different recipes for juicing. And when I tell you, I drink a glass, I literally just made this morning watermelon juice. I just went and bought a whole ass watermelon
Love it.
and I cut it up,
Mm.
Aqua fresca.
rind and all, because the major healthy nutrients are in the rind. So I just
Mm.
crushed it up through my juicer, and I got me a pitcher of watermelon juice for the week. And that's the first thing I put in my body when I wake up. Usually they say have a glass of water, something, that hydrates you as soon as you wake up before you eat breakfast. I literally run downstairs and grab me a glass of juice, whatever juice I have made, I drink that. And I feel it just literally gets all of the juices flowing. I'm telling you, if you don't have a juice machine, I will scream this until I am dead. Invest in a good damn juice machine and
I
make
have
your own
one.
juice.
I have one. Yeah, I don't be wanting to clean
Yeah.
that thing. That thing,
You know
it's
what it
so much
is? It's
cleaning, but
cleaning.
I love
Cleaning
the
it.
result. I love the results. Like I love the
I'm telling
results.
you,
I love the
you
juice.
will
Ain't
see it
nobody
in
want to
your
clean
skin.
that.
Listen, you will see
Yeah.
it in your skin.
Yeah.
Your skin will start to pop. Just your whole insides. You'll feel so much better. I will say this. I mean, I'm a reformed smoker. I did it all. Okay, I was chain smoking, doing the whole nine, drinking friggin' handles of Crown
Crack
Royale
too.
all the time. Well, I didn't do no damn crack. Now you know me better than that.
Now she's like,
I didn't do
pass the
no
Irish
cocaine.
sea
I didn't
moss.
do no heavy drugs. Weed here and there, some alcohol. The whole all that. But
I am happy that you do. I get that. I feel good like that when I run,
yes,
honestly. Like if I do like a 2 mile run, I feel fabulous. But I'm not. I know me. I'm
I'm
that
telling you, try it.
lazy.
Try it. You listen. It's a responsibility. It's a
It is.
responsibility.
You can also
Okay.
buy juice. You could buy juice if you don't feel like squeezing it, but it is best to do your own because you know what's in it
I was
and you
gonna
know
say
it.
it's best to do your own
Yeah,
because you can go to
If
Whole
anything
Foods, you
in
can go to
plastic,
Wegmans. Yes, you can go to Whole Foods, you can go to Wegmans, and you can pay your $14,000 for
it's
your
so much
whole
more
juice
expensive.
just right
Yeah,
out the juicer. And I guarantee you, there's gonna be some, microplastics in there or some sugar.
yeah.
Trust me when I tell you,
Oh, it's
don't buy none
loaded
of
with
this shit.
sugar. It's loaded. But we're not gonna sneak out of here before we talk about this vaginal dryness. Now,
Oh,
the craze that has been on the internet, which of course I love a good TikTok craze or phase, even though I'm not on TikTok. It gets to me on Instagram, is this okra water. So the people are swearing, yes, they're saying to you could take frozen or fresh cut okra, soak it in water. It doesn't really give you proportions overnight supposedly. So I did it. Of course I did it. And they're saying if you consume that 3 times a week, that will keep all the juices flowing. that you need, and it's healthy for you. It's supposed to be good for your skin. I mean, it's okra. It's water is
Yeah.
okra. It's vitamin water. So, but they're saying there's something about maybe the mucus or something like that that translates to the vagina. So, but
Wait,
just
wait, what? The mu-
yeah, it's supposed to make it juicy. I don't know. That's what the people are saying on the
I
streets.
thought that was pineapple juice. I drink a lot of.
That's for the taste.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm gonna take myself out of this conversation because I've retired from the game. I ain't dating no more, and I don't know what it's like. I am a reborn virgin because I can't tell you the last time I had sex and who the hell it was with. So I don't know. My vagina might be dry, but I ain't trying to have no
You
sex.
know, I'm
So
pretty sure you
fine.
probably know.
But
My
I think
boyfriend,
lubricant
I
just,
will say, I don't suffer from vaginal dryness because electric Tony in the bedroom drawer works very well.
there
Thank you,
you go. There
and
you
I'm gonna let
go.
you finish it up.
Electric Tony.
Mine is called Buzz Lightyear.
Well, mine changes names every time I pull it out. Whatever name I scream out is the name of the night. Bring something
But
to
I think that's something you like you said,
Wow.
Tanya, you may not have a partner, but I think it's important to keep that orgasm flow. It's important to keep the blood and stimulated down there, all that stuff. Like even if you
Yeah.
don't have a partner that you're with, it's good. I think that's
She got
good.
Tony. She good. She got Tony. She's good.
Oh, I'm
AI
good.
now.
Listen,
Listen, I am
Tony
good.
sounds fun.
And to be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just the age that I'm at. I don't care anymore. I don't even crave it. I don't
Hey,
even
what?
like
Tony?
feel it. No,
sex.
craving like I don't even crave like even grabbing my vibrator and doing that. I don't
Yeah, has
really
that
care about
changed for everyone? Your
I
It
don't.
is
desire?
my libido
I
has
have
slowed.
zero desire.
I will admit that it has slowed. It's not, gone, but it has definitely slowed compared
Mm-hmm.
to like how the girl used to be, like, you know. But I'm okay with that because, as we get older, my husband's also getting older. He's going
Mm-hmm.
through a male version of hormone change as well. It's not like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, every day like it used to be, but we're cool with that because we have intimacy.
Hmm.
But at the
Right.
same
Mm-hmm.
time, don't nobody want to be hitting no dry skins. So it's like you gotta make sure it is lubricated, and it's just a matter of finding the lubricant that works for you. Water based, silicone based, the spicy one, the one that smells like strawberries, like whatever works for you. It's like play around a little. We actually found a variety pack when we were on vacation last week, so we about to run through that variety pack and see what works best
Oh,
for
look
us.
at that. Yeah. Somebody's still getting it. Heidi, what about you? You still hitting them skins?
I am.
And
Heidi
I
45
got a
am.
whole
I
whole
am.
husband over there.
But my husband is older than I am, and so he's also experiencing some changes. He'll be 69 in July, actually. So yeah, he's experiencing, I think, a little bit more of a change than I am, actually. But
Yeah,
you
69.
know,
Yeah.
there's definitely a change. Yeah, I am not 25-year-old Heidi. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
think we all kind of like
and
get to
I'm
a
okay with
point.
that.
Yeah, we get to a point, but you still want it. Still want to enjoy
Yes,
it.
there's
Still want
still
to
a
be loose.
desire.
Still want to taste like pineapple juice. That's
I'm
what it's
still a
just.
girly girl.
It's just me. But I haven't experienced it yet, but I have heard that it can be extremely painful.
Yeah, I've
Like
heard that
where
too.
is women revert back to it could cause, some bleeding there.
Yeah, little
Hmm.
lesions
It
inside.
lead oh damn.
Hmm.
I
From
didn't
the from the
hear that.
friction.
Yeah, I heard the burning and the itching, and then
Oh,
some discharge, along with it. But then, but that's one of those things as well that women have to suffer psychologically, because that is where probably a lot of men, back in the day got there. Well, she's no longer desirable if she's not of childbearing age. And
Right,
so it's one of those things that you run away from when there could be an easy fix. So you get to a certain age, and all of a sudden, what, your libido just drops just a tiny bit, and then you have the dryness and the burning and the discharge on top of that, and lesions. I
Yeah,
mm,
that's a lot.
imagine. So that's a lot with your psyche that you're dealing with, and I don't think enough women get the opportunity to say out loud into it. We're vocal now, but oh my God, I'm going through this. What can I do? Because some people don't even want to discuss this with their doctors.
Yeah.
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 But there's Google, there's Bing, and of course you have to use your discernment. Every article you read is not going to be accurate. You should try to find something from a reputable source. Johns Hopkins is like always a good default go-to, but especially if you are of a particular persuasion or a particular race. Asian women might want to drill down and find out what other Asian women are talking about. People who are, of different sexual orientations, find out what's going on in your community. And it's not one size fits all, but I was told when I was in my 20s, when I went to you goof off, you go to a sex store with your friends and you're in there giggling and being stupid. I was told by the worker back then, he's like, everyone needs lube. Like, he kept drilling it into our heads. And I was like, I'm 20 something. I'm like, I don't need no damn lube.
Yes.
But now it's like that lesson from 25 years ago is clicking in. I'm like, the guy said it to me. He's like, everyone needs lube.
Do
And
they
I'll
mean like
never forget it.
eventually or then when you were young?
He said everybody needs lube. So he might have meant then. And I mean, who's to say? Give it a try. It can't hurt, but it could only make things
Oh, for
more
sure.
fun, I think. So
Yeah.
So let me tell you my lube story. So, I got married very young. But anyway, so one of my little encounters with my husband, I always used KY jelly in the very beginning. So it's always sat on this, on my nightstand next to my bed. So in the dark, you could just squeeze it on out. So I squeezed it on out and I put it down there. And that motherfucker had been gay next on my nightstand.
oh
The
no.
way I jumped.
That's
You
how
know
that Dr.
what?
Bronner's feels.
I
With the
can
first
still
time you
feel
use
it
that
to this
that Dr.
day.
Bronner's
Down.
shower gel and you
Mhm.
put that down there, if you ain't ready for it, it's a
Wow.
situation.
I'm like, how did I not even smell it? Because he was
Because you were ready to hit skins. You weren't thinking about those
just
big
wasn't
gay.
even thinking because Ben Gay is a strong
Yeah.
smell.
It
Wasn't
is.
even thinking about it. In the dark.
Wow. At
God.
least it
Yeah,
wasn't
I got.
crazy glue. At least it wasn't crazy glue.
Oh, that never
it's true.
had to. Yeah,
Jesus.
that's true. But crazy glue. That's why crazy glue comes in those little tiny, tiny things, just in case a person gets crazy. But
Oh my
I feel
gosh.
like this was a good discussion. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. But I feel like we always have to say, and Tracy has said it several times, find your tribe. Because it's great to Google, it's great to look things up, but it's also better to talk to your girlfriends, to talk to
Mhm.
your family, because especially your family, because you're genetically connected and you might be going through some of the same things, and you need to tell, that like Tracy and I are teaching our daughters, this is what is going to happen. I know I'm probably scaring the hell out of my daughter. She's probably like, I don't ever want to fucking leave my 30s. But it's a conversation that that needs to be had. I'm like, you might as well start talking to Kendall right now, Norma.
Kendall can probably give a whole class to us.
She
Stop
probably
playing.
could.
Her
She
daughter
probably
is like
could.
He's very in tune.
Encyclopedia Brown.
Yes.
She can.
I'm just like, wow, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm telling my sons.
You have
Yes,
to.
girl, please do.
Yes.
My
Mhm.
10-year-old knows, yeah, you know what? Know better, do better,
That's right.
And because, like, I don't know, I was surprised by how many men,
Don't know.
out there don't know what goes on with women, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mhm.
doing men such a disservice,
They don't
to
even
be
know
good
what's going on with
partners.
themselves half the time.
But I told my boys too when they were younger. I told them I talked to them about
Menstruation.
menstruation, the emotional changes that women go through. The only thing that I wish I had concentrated more on when I was having these conversations, I had more of those conversations from a woman's point of view, so that they could treat women with care,
Mhm.
also not realizing that boys go through very similar emotional issues. And I see that a lot now with my grandson, that I probably missed out a little on my sons because I didn't understand it. Like you said, you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my boys
Right.
definitely know. My one of my sons, he's really good. He actually has a heating pad that he knows how to warm it up and everything. He hooks his partner up when there's a cramping situation going on. I was like, I did that. I did that.
That's awesome.
That is good. I don't think my boys were that good. I mean, I think they probably took the avoidance. I don't know. But
He's
they
very attentive. So
knew. Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh, that's good. Well, again, thank you, ladies. This is part 2. We're going to be here again next week, hitting on. I think the biggest one would be depression, because
Mm.
yes,
that is something that hits hold that we probably haven't experienced since we had, like,
a
what's it,
baby
PMS.
sometimes, yeah, or
Yeah,
a child, or
or
yeah.
child, yeah. So we'll be talking about those things. Maybe Robbie will join us back. I hope Heidi and Tanya, I hope you can join us next week. If not, thank you very much for joining this conversation. So,
And
Thank
check
you
our
for having me.
socials. Check our socials at Little State Big Voices. I'll be making a Pinterest board just for this very
Woo.
season, just for this, and we'll be having some amazing giveaways. So just stay tuned.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Have a great week.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
God damn it. It's like nothing is working. Oh, Tanya, it's still
Tanya's out. Tanya's ready to